we're actually able to go to this amazing, amazing event, and our minds were literally like blown. It was amazing. So we're going to pretty much just, give you the content that came straight from the seven-figure earners flat out. And the first thing that I kind of wanted to dive into with you guys is to know that, especially as females, like, you are entitled. And what does entitled exactly mean? This is literally the definition. It's a person who believes they're inherently designed to have the right things. So we have to become inherently deserving. Belief is important, but knowing is powerful. What we know is where we grow. Write that down. What we know is where we grow. So how many of you guys can agree that you literally cannot give what you do not possess? I'll say that again. You cannot give what you do not possess. Now, the first thing that probably comes to mind is usually like money, right? But I'm talking about passion. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about fun. Of course, money is involved in that, but you can't give somebody passion if you don't have passion. You can't give energy if you don't have energy. Does that make sense? Okay, so, but at the same time, don't get me wrong, also money ties right in just as important as everything else with all of that. Some people will say it's not about the money, and, I'm kind of like, what? Whatever, why are you lying? It's definitely about the money. So, but it's not because of the money. It's not because of the material things. It's because of what you're able to give back with money. Can we all agree on that? Yes. Awesome. So moving on, you have to truly want more in your life. Nobody's going to be able to ever want this for you, like flat out. Nobody can do it. If you don't have that burning desire deep down within, then you're probably just not going to make it. It just doesn't happen like that. You have to want it more than you've ever wanted anything else in your entire life. But not only that, you have to allow it. You have to allow it, and you have to expect it. Those are two huge keys. You can't just want it. So write that down. You have to allow it and expect it in your life at all times, and know that you are entitled to more. So the exact opposite of that, what's the opposite of being entitled and inherently deserving, is lazy, crazy, and stuck. And if you feel any of those things in your life, my biggest advice is to literally run away from that as fast as possible. As fast as possible. That's like literally your path to destruction. If you feel any of those, you need to sprint away quickly. So pretty much get out of that state. Let's see here, 1 second. All right, moving on. So pretty sure that everyone on this call right now can all agree that we've already made the decision that failure is not an option at this point. Yes or yes? Heads, yes, everyone. Everyone can agree on that. Failure is not an option. And that's why you ladies are on this call, is because I believe that this group of females, like, you guys are all so amazing, and I know that I see so much potential in each and every one of you, that if you would only see what we see, your life will just explode. You have no idea. It's amazing. But really quickly, I want to kind of go through these 10 bullet points that we learned from this girl her name's Gloria Banks. She was an amazing speaker. I'm sure she has stuff on YouTube. What was that, Brett?
Definitely suggest all of you guys to write her name down. She's absolutely incredible leader. Watch how she talks. Watch how she walks onto the stage. It will blow your mind, and just learn from her. Like, she was one mentor that I picked out that entire time, like over Tony Robbins as a girl mentor. So that's huge.
100%. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, write down that name, Gloria Banks, YouTuber. She'll blow your mind, just the way she carries herself and everything. She's truly amazing. So these are, her 10 bullet points, not mine. They're hers. So number 1 is encouragement. Encouragement, it increases imagination. For example, when, I remember the first time I was in the industry, when I heard about what one of the top earners was making, my immediate reaction is just like, mind blown. I was like, well, then, you start thinking to yourself, and your imagination starts flowing. You're like, well, if I could only make half of that, and then half of that, and half of that, and half of that, we'd be good, right? And then half of that. But so, encouragement is so huge. Number 2, use your gifts unapologetically. Stop hiding. Number 3, reshape your thinking. Your thinking is probably one of the most important keys, ever. If you really actually understood the power of your thoughts, you would literally never think a negative thought again, 100%. Every word's kind of either like a flower or it's like a brick. It either, lifts you or it hurts you. So obviously we don't want bricks. We want to throw those out the window. We want to all have our words, our flowers. We're growing. We're lifting each other up. Number 4, pay attention. Your mind definitely plays tricks on you. We can all agree on that. You've got to pay attention and, control what's in the back of your head at all times. Super, super important. Number 5, skills. Bring your best because you don't afford anything less. Number 6, what makes you tick? Super important one. Figure that out. If you don't know it, what is it? What makes you tick? Stop working and start winning. That's a huge one for all of us. Start winning in the industry. Start winning with your accountability partner. Start winning with, we have a 90-day challenge coming up here soon. That should be a huge goal for everyone. I know it is for me, which they're having a call about that tonight. Whole nother story. After tomorrow, you guys can set goals with your accountability partner and stuff. Sorry, let me turn my volume off. With your accountability partners, set some goals for yourselves and just start winning them, conquer them, achieve it all. Number 7, don't expect others to understand. For me, this one really hit home. I'm sure that, a lot of you have those friends that maybe you have a roommate that doesn't believe in your vision. That's what happened to me. Currently right now, I love them to death, but I live with people that just don't understand my journey. And I know that there's got to be other people on this call that can 100% relate to that. Imagine if we had a room, if all of us girls, every single one on this call, moved in together and all lived together. What would change? Let me ask you a question. Would it be our business just magically boomed? Or would it be your mindset boomed, which caused your business to grow? The second one, right? Exactly. So, it just makes all the difference. But law of association, it's huge. But at the same time, don't expect others to understand. Don't expect them to understand, but just do you. Have faith in your journey and just believe in yourself. Number 8 is faith, friends, and faces. Faith, use that as your energy. Friends, they play a huge part, what I just talked about. Faces, know what you're doing and pick your friends. It's so important. Number 9, rewrite your story. The past doesn't dictate your future. I don't know any of your stories. Actually, I know a couple of your stories. I'd like to hear more of your stories, but I know that each and every one of you have a story. And if not, then you're lying to yourself. You have a story. So rewrite that story. What do you want your future to look like? The beauty is you get to decide. You write your future. So I don't take that lightly either. Literally write it out, on paper. I want to see it all written out, each and every one of you. And lastly, number 10, all of your knowing is hidden within you. It's deep down there, and you are all entitled. So pretty much that's all I wanted to go over with her. Let's see here. All right, really quickly, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about social media. Social media, obviously, being millennials, is a huge factor in our businesses, right? We talked to some of these, there was just some of these amazing females and stuff that talked about how they use social media to literally in I think it was 6 months to a year, their business duplicated by quadrupled. It was just mind blowing, the numbers. And so a couple things, you want to share your heart with your product. You have to be passionate about it. You have to craft what excites you. Then you'll attract the right people. So decide how you're going to brand yourself into the world. You have to make that decision first. And then after that, you're going to build your page around that. So for me personally, obviously what I choose to do is travel and adventure. That's what I like to do. So I'm going to do, my brand is going to be traveling and adventuring. And then through that, I'm not going to talk about my business, but I'm going to draw excitement through my passion, which is the travel adventure. People are going to ask you, how do you do that? It's kind of pool marketing type of thing. So with Facebook, for example, these are social media mistakes. Do not do. Number one, spam. Don't spam people. Do not do it, please. Number two, trying to be your company instead of being you. Don't do that. Number three, venting your personal life. People don't give a shit, to be honest. They don't care. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Social media mastery. Boom, right there. Do not post, politics, that kind of things. People don't care at all. It drives people away. Don't talk about the opportunity. You don't ever want to post anything and put, yeah, so, I work with this amazing travel adventure club. We get, access to wholesale traveling. It's amazing. You should come join my business. We have so much fun. No, don't say any of that. It's awful. I cannot stand when people do that. It's not going to help you. It's going to break your brand because people run from people that, try to explain their business instead of just being you. It's so important to just be authentic. That's really it. So these are some do's. Moving on. Number one, post consistently. Number two, reach out on people's birthdays. It's simple to do on Facebook. It literally tells you when somebody's birthday is. Personally message them. If you do have their number, send them a video, literally a video of you singing happy birthday to you with their name. Like, make it so personal that they'll remember your name. They're like, wow, like, I can't believe Nicole just sang me happy birthday over the phone. Like, that was so amazing and nice of her. Like, what are you up to, girl? Like, it's been a while. It creates a conversation, right? So that's a super, super simple way to, there's literally like 10 people's birthdays a day on Facebook. So many. People are attracted to passion. So the goal basically on social media is to pull the combo from online to offline as soon as possible. You're going to utilize the tools. You have to become a great storyteller. I'll try to slow down a little. Start going live on Facebook. That's something that me personally, I'm working on. I actually haven't done a Facebook Live yet, so maybe I should make that a goal for myself to do that, right? 3 to 5 things that you love. Pick a couple things. For me, I'll choose things like family, God, travel, fitness, and adventure, something like that. Pick 3 to 5 things that, you love and incorporate all of those into your posts. Instead of just doing one thing, have a little bit of a variety, but a consistent variety. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. So does anyone have any specific questions on social media? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's really just find what's your niche going to be that you're going to brand yourself. Just figure that out. And then from around there, if you have any questions, you can just personally message me and we'll figure that out from there. But we're going to move on from social media really quick. We want to move on to, it was called the Rising Star Panel. So this panel was strictly for millennials. And you want to know the crazy part is the youngest millennial on this stage during this panel, there's 5 or 6 of them, was 28 years old. The youngest one was 28 years old. That's insane. So technically the oldest, there was a 34 or 35-year-old was their oldest millennial. That's what they considered a millennial. We don't even consider that's like Rob Sperry being on the stage as a millennial. That's insane. He's our old guy in our business, Hope Rob's not listening. Anyway, so there's this girl, Whitney Husband. Her story is pretty amazing. She was from Texas. She hit a 6-figure rank in 4 months of being in network marketing. 4 months.
Guys, this is 4 months brand new with network marketing. Brand new.
brand new. Never been in the industry. And guess what? It gets even better. 3 years in, she hit 7 figures. $1 million. 3 years. Does that excite anyone at all? Raise your hand. Wave it really high. Exactly. Yeah, that's insane. And guess what else? She did it through millennials. Us. And a couple of reasons why we were trying to figure out, so what divides the millennials from, like, the older generation of our parents and stuff, where, the whole industry of network marketing used to be like our parents, like they were the future of all that, but now it's shifted to us. We are the future of network marketing. So the difference is, kids our age, millennials, we're all about the hustle. Every single person, like us young kids, we hustle. We'll grind out 2, 3 jobs. We'll bust out calls. We'll do literally whatever it takes because we have that passion inside of us. We hustle. Let's see. The world's changing. It's not what it was before. We also don't have any desire to be in a cubicle. We want options. We want out of cubicle as fast as possible. We're active on social media, like we just talked about. Social media is huge. We're ready to work. Our schedules are flexible. People our age are literally ready to just throw your whole life into network marketing. What I mean by that is, like, we don't have exactly like the obligations our parents have, and we have that flexibility where we can do those types of things. So lastly, we're inspired by, at least I am personally, I'm inspired by what my parents did for me and are going to continue to do in the future. Like, we're willing to give back to our families and friends, and that kind of separates us from, our generation compared to their generation. So that's pretty much it on that panel. Let me find this other one really quickly. All right, moving on to the women's panel. There was a ton of awesome speakers in there. I know I kind of told you a little bit about this girl, Gloria, earlier, who was probably mine and many other favorites. She was absolutely amazing. But one thing they really talked about is, especially as females, to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like, it doesn't matter. We're no different. You have to learn to embrace the pain and realize that you can't go over it or under it, so we have to go through it. Stop avoiding it, accept it. A better me is waiting on the other side. But you have to truly believe that. That's going to be all the difference. And, I can tell you and you can hear me say it, but if you don't believe it, then nothing's going to happen. Lastly, get excited. God doesn't give big fights to little soldiers. He gave you that fight because you're ready to wear that armor and fight. I thought that was a really good one, and I believe that each and every one of you are also ready to put that armor on and get to work. There's one more point in here. This is the last thing I want to talk about really quickly before I pass this off to Brittany, is this girl, Donna Johnson, which you could also write down that name, Donna Johnson, Donna Johnson. She kind of talked about this thing. It's called the circle of success. So what it is pretty much everyone just draw a circle in your notebook, write down circle of success, and I'm going to give you a couple bullet points around it to write down. Okay. Number 1, keep things simple and fun. Number 2, start with you and add more. Number 3, on your list, you should have a 2-name list. They should be like a local people and then distant people. I know for me, I obviously have a lot of distant people because I'm always bouncing state to state, so that varies. But it kind of does matter, the way that you approach them and how you're going to, talk to them. Obviously, if you're going to invite them to one of your events in your town, you're not going to do that to a distant person. You're going to find a whole different approach. Number 4, I believe we're on. Duplicate. Number 5, and these aren't really in a specific order, by the way. Launch. Next one, do not prejudge. And the next one, for prospecting, you have to be authentic, 100% transparent. People can see right through you from the get-go. Moving on. Next one is schedule. You should always have a written schedule out of, your calls you're going to do for the day, number of exposures you want, whatever it is your goals are for the day. If it's not in your schedule, it's not going to happen. Out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Next one is present, working on your skills for that. And lastly, closing. If you don't have that skill, I guarantee someone on your team does. So utilize that. That's all it is. You don't have to have that skill. That's the beauty of it. But somebody on your team 100% will. So that's really it for the circle of success. And I'm going to go ahead and pass this thing off to Miss Brittany Robb. Crazy story how I met this girl, but we won't go into that. Moral of the story, she's become one of my best friends in the past couple of months of our lives. And, I really admire this girl, and I'm super excited for what she's going to do in her future here, because she is 100% worth talking about. Miss Brittany Robb, did you make it on the call today?
I did. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. Excited for Megan. Honestly, she's grown a lot. We actually cried at GoPro together. This shuts off in 6 minutes, so we all might have to re-click this link because I'm going to give you guys the road to success, the roadmap to success, and getting in the state of mind. So if you guys have time, make sure you re-click the link. I will record this as well. But Megan and I are actually going to be roommates hopefully very soon. Law of association, hanging with the right people, building together. So super excited about that. But really, what I want you guys to do is get out of the mental toughness. I believe all of us, we're in that employee mind state, but we want to be in that entrepreneurial mind state. All of us are entrepreneurs. Can we all agree? We all want to be an entrepreneur, and we are all in the business to be an entrepreneurial. Get out of the mental toughness. We're so used to the system as we're do as we're told, right? Stop thinking like an employee and think different. You're an entrepreneur, not an employee. Our passion, it never turns off. It doesn't. We're so excited to travel. We're so excited to talk to new people. It never turns off. We're creators of value. Live a life we're talking about. What stands in the way becomes the way. A difference between an employee and an entrepreneur. An employee is given an assignment, and an entrepreneur, provides the assignment, right? We're so used to work when being told what we're doing. And here we get to do what we want. An employee, waits for support, and we create support. An employee is willing to risk 2 weeks. Guys, we're not quitting. We don't quit. I didn't make a single paycheck in 2 years of network marketing, and I never quit. And here I am. And guess what? My first week in WoTaBu, I made more money than I've ever made in network marketing. I never quit. That's all I can tell you is never quit. And really just get out of the skepticism. Bad leaders are destroyed by crisis, and good leaders serve them. Great leaders are improved by them. Leaders spend 5% of their problems and 95% on solutions. Where you see crisis, another sees an opportunity. So I just want to have you guys all click on the link. We're going to end this real quick just because it's all going to cut out, and I'm going to give you guys the roadmap to success. Sound good? So just re-click the link. Perfect.